I'm in the little town of Buckden, which is just by the very busy A1M, which is to my right. Just on the very southern edge of Cambridge here. Over there's a war memorial to two local lads who died in the First World War. One of them was awarded the Victoria Cross, Captain Green. I think there are people that live here, but it is free to visit, as long as you're respectful, of course. I think people live in the houses over there, but it's also a religious conference centre, I believe. The buildings here are Tudor, but there are some early medieval, or it was built on an earlier medieval site. You can see the traces of a moat, which was probably much deeper. You can see a coat of arms there, which I don't know which is. Some of the famous people that have been here. One of the most notable was Catherine of Aragon, who lived here. She lived here for a number of years after her, I don't know if she was divorced or annulled her marriage, I can't remember now. She eventually went to Kimbolton, which is a few miles away from here. I could probably go up there, but I'm not going to. As you can see, some semblance of defensive fortifications. Those probably would have been gun loops. Although they were still using bows and arrows at that time. Long bows, I should say, as depicted by large numbers that were found on the Mary Rose. That is quite a substantial building. Made of brick, but still defendable. This is obviously a more modern part. Yeah, Catherine of Aragon died at Kimbolton Castle, which is now, I believe, a school. It's not really a castle. There is the remains of an earlier castle over the in a field, which I have visited, which was a moat. You can see the big church right next door. Yeah, she died in Kimbolton Castle, and then was buried in Peterborough Cathedral. Buried opposite her was Mary Queen of Scots, because she was executed at Fotheringhay, which is just south of Peterborough, but she was eventually moved to Westminster Abbey. I believe she resides next to Elizabeth I. I believe there's Queen Catherine Gardens is over here somewhere. I don't think that's end of that building's that old. I think it's a bit of a mock. But there was a moat that went all the way round the building here itself. You can make out the busy A1. But that is a very impressive Tudor tower. And you can see the gatehouse. I don't know how many buildings were on this side. or whether they've all been knocked down. Morning. See these buildings to the left are slightly more modern. There's the nice cleaner lady there. She saw me filming, so she stopped. I think that's the Queen Catherine Gardens over there. Obviously because of the weather and that, they don't look very well looked after and maintained. Just come back this way. Massive tree there. Never sure what trees are. That could be an oak tree for all I know. I know about castles, but I don't know about trees. I would imagine that wall there would have been walls all the way around this place. You can see that pattern in those sort of like little diamonds. That's quite typical of a sort of Tudor style. This part of the building's made in stone. Oh. Well, I thought it stopped recording, but it didn't. Yeah, sadly, I don't think you can actually get into the main building. It'd be interesting if you could, if they did little tours. I don't know how modern it is inside it. Yeah, and then we come all the way around the outside here. And as you can see, it did have another wall on the outside with its other little gatehouse there. I don't know how complete around that went. Oh, I think that I've just seen something behind me here. Yeah, you can see the moat. That wouldn't have been that protected, but I imagine it would have been much, much, much deeper than that. Odd looking tree with its branches. It'd be interesting to find out if they did do little tours inside the tower. Like I say, I don't think they do. It's more of a religious site this is now. But it is a very interesting place to come and visit. And you can see the defences on the, I think Hinchinbrook School near Huntingdon has got walls similar to that. I think it's associated with Oliver Cromwell, I'm not sure. But this is a very, very interesting place to visit if you ever happen to come this way and want to spend a few minutes. Buckden Palace. Well, I was talking about Queen Catherine's garden, and I've just found it. It's round the side here. As you can see, it's to the side there, and there's the Buckden Towers, nice view, and the church with the correct time on the clock. As you imagine in Tudor times, there wouldn't have been a massive amount to do, apart from going out and slaughtering the locals, local peasants, etc., and fighting amongst the nobles. So having a garden that you could walk around would probably be something of interest. I mean, them walls aren't that thick. I mean, a cannonball would go straight through them. We are at the sort of earlier period of cannons and that. I mean, they had them in the English Civil War, and earlier in the Wars of the Roses. I don't think the sundial works without the sun, so we'll have to rely on the clock. I don't know how accurate this is to the period. I mean, that fence there is made out of wood, I think. No, it's just a hedge, isn't it? Yeah, so it may have extended that way. Some sort of a fruit tree, which has not got anything on it. And a nice little viewing platform, which is probably modern. Although they used to build something called a prospect mound, which was basically for viewing your formal gardens and that, and your land. That is really a impressive looking tower, which is sort of hidden away. But there you go.